G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's black pine bud selection time in autumn at the moment here in Melbourne. So what we've got, I think you would have seen this tree if you've been following my channel for a while, a few times. I've had a look at the tree. This is a black pine, sorry, Japanese black pine, and it's got a lovely twisting trunk that I'm pushing out to this way to make some sort of semi-cascade. It needs a styling, so I'll do that with this tree today as well. But it's all about bud selection and needle plucking. Now I've gone through this tree. So in summer I have cut off all the candles, and I've come in now to look at how many, if there's multiple buds in one spot, to trim them back, as you've seen with my other black pines. Now I've had a look at the tree and it really hasn't pushed that many multiple buds for some reason. It's probably pushed out 2 in most of the spots, and I'm just looking through it, and yeah, there's not actually 3. There's mostly they're actually two only. It's actually been interesting. I'm not 100% sure why it hasn't pushed out more. It looks healthy. It has pushed out 2 at least in each area, 2 or 1. There's maybe actually in here there's probably 3, so that's okay. So I'll clean up that. If I wire that, remember if I'm going to wire the branch down, for example, I want to get rid of the one that goes down, and these are 2 even ones, so that's gone. Do some needle plucking as well. I've explained the needle plucking bud selection in my other videos, so just go along with that. Yeah, hasn't pushed out as much. Now I have noticed in Melbourne, summer was actually quite mild for Melbourne, that is. We usually have much hotter summers. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I think usually we have much hotter summers. And most times, much hotter summers for me means heaps of buds. Heaps of buds, and pines really love the heat for some reason, and the nice sun and so on. But we haven't had that hot of a summer, so I don't know if that's contributed to less buds. Obviously, the strong areas up the top, there's multiple buds. So I'm just gonna go through and select out the ones I'm gonna keep. So there was 4 in this spot, 1 up the top, 1 growing up, 1 growing down. Take those 2 off and leave the side ones. As I said, have a look at my other ones for a bit more detail. But yeah, just maybe other people have got other opinions on what's happened this year. But some of my pines haven't pushed as many buds in all the areas, which is different, which is a bit unusual for this time of year. So what I'm doing is just going to do the bud selection in this area. Let's have a look. 1, 2. So of course the top always has the growth and the bottom doesn't. So then I want to actually try and wire this up and position the branches, hopefully have a nicer shape. Probably try and do something with the crown. The crown looks a bit, the apex looks a bit weird. It's too big and too elongated, so we'll get some wire on it. I've got still some thick heavy aluminium on this tree, and it still needs it. It's easy to adjust the branching as I go along with it. So let me just, almost finished. Really isn't that much. It's a bit unusual. Might consider next year doing maybe increasing my feeding in the spring, or late winter, early spring. I'm just probably increase my feeding. I think I'm going to try that and see if it helps. And then don't feed after, and then don't feed before I eat a candle. In summer, don't feed it just then. Let it go for a month. Don't feed, and then start feeding again heavily and see if it pushes out more growth. I don't know. I'm going to just try and play around with my feeding. Maybe that's impacted it. So pretty much that's the bud selection. There wasn't much. I'll do some needle plucking as I wire, so I'll even out the growth. But yeah, I'm going to try and now wire up this tree and see if we can get a better shape. It's not too bad, but some bits a bit straight, and this bit's a bit straight, and this bit needs some work. So we'll get stuck into that and see, and I'll keep cleaning up the areas that I need to clean up, and do some needle plucking to balance out the growth. Okay, be back soon. Okay, so I have fully wired the tree. Started to place a few things here and there. I've reduced the needles as much as I can as well. I do have some long ones, but I'll just leave them. No big deal at the moment. This tree is not show ready or anything like that. But now it's trying to see if I can maneuver and manipulate to try and get some better shape. You know, I wanted to get that a bit more that way. Bring this in a bit more this way, probably. Then bend this out a bit more this way. I think something like that. And then move these this way. So I'm thinking there. I think that should be around in here. So this tree needs to really start to fill out and start to really get some more backbudding, or not backbudding, but even more ramification and building out. So it's just a matter of tweaking things and finding a good spot for them. That should go down in there. So always trying to want to just push the tips up a little bit. See how they push the tips up a little bit. Push the tips up a little bit. But see how these are long? Kind of distracts a little bit. So let's get you in here. Cut the excess wire off. Like that in there, maybe. See if I can get this one over here. Sometimes I just talk to myself while I work, trying to talk and see how everything fits together nicely. Something like that. This is a nice little branch here. It's actually starting to form nice foliage and nice buds in there. So maybe it's a nice little layer in there. These all have to really start to come together well to really start to layer up. That's probably the widest point. It's on the widest edge. That's the next bit up there. So it comes back in. Now really it's the top that we've got to try and factor in here. I'm just going to have a quick look. Just trying to think, this little guy might need to make the new apex or something. This little one in here. Because what I want to see is I want to try and get him down and around. So now what I've done is I've tried to put a back branch in here and then brought this one around into here. And see, maybe this one should form the apex, possibly a new apex in here, because then I want to bring this guy down. Maybe I should turn it around, then back in there actually. Might go back in there, probably a better idea. And then create a new apex with that. There's a small secondary branch in there. How's that? Maybe there's something like that. Kind of redesigning this whole area here. Or we can put that down in here and wire this guy up as the new apex. It's a bit tricky. See if that works better. I've also got another bud in here that's growing, so that could be the new apex as well. So maybe that's the idea. Maybe have one of these two create the new apex. Let's go with something like that for now. Yeah, it's not too bad. There's a bit of an annoying gap in here. I think that could either be filled out by this one being dropped in here, that one growing into here, create a new apex with this, and I think that'd be okay. Anyway, it gives you an idea just to tweak and style trees now, because you can see them once you needle pluck. Once you butt select needle pluck, you can see the tree a bit better. Maybe something like that. You know, the top is a bit heavy, top is a bit thick, but let's try and bend and twist it up. Again, I've got this bud in here and this branch in here. One of those could make the apex, and one of those could make the branch that fills in this gap. So, kind of a reasonable position. Nothing, you know, no rush, I guess. Because this probably is the better one, because then we can wire this branch, this bud here into this spot here. When it starts to develop more, and that can be the apex, and let that grow, get that fatter. And maybe we can create a nice little apex in here and create the tree like that. Nice and short on this side, then cascading down this way. Maybe that's it for today. If anything, I'm tempted to actually cut this off here and just have this a shorter tree. But we'll wait and see. Then time will tell, because there's absolutely no branching in here at all in this space here. And these two are just the two branches on the end. And if we remove that, it's a much more compact, shorter tree. Not yet, not the decision right now for it, but I think in the future maybe we'll look at that again and shorten the tree. I think it might look better. Yeah, that's what we're doing today, and hopefully you saw what I did. All I did was butt select, needle pluck some of it. Oh, you wouldn't have seen that much, and then I've wired the tree fully, and then I've just bent it the way I want it into different places and different shapes, and just pushing those little buds at the end upwards a little bit just to help it along. Start to try and put some pads in, but that's going to take some time. But you can see when you go to, at the moment we've got 1s and 2s. So next year we'll hopefully get the 4s, and the year after that we'll get 8s and build out the tree that way. Alright guys, another one done. Let's move on to some more trees and more videos, and I'll be back shortly with some more videos. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.